A glacier is a huge, dense body of ice that moves very slowly and erodes the land, changing the way it looks. The Steinglacier is a valley glacier. There are two kinds of glaciers. Valley glaciers can be found all around the world, and some mountain peaks are high enough that they stay frozen all year. They accumulate more mass every time it snows. Then there's a continental glacier, like the Antarctica. It's so cold that the snow piles up and stays on the ground all year, even in summer. The ice is so thick there that you can't even see the ground. When glaciers move, they erode the land, carry rocks and soil along, and even tear up trees. But they're so slow. Sometimes they move less than 2 centimeters a year. Well, first of all, it has to be cold, really cold. It starts when the snow piles up on each other, and if it's high enough, the bottom layers are compressed into ice. If it piles up even higher, the pressure causes the bottom layer to partially melt, becoming soft. That slippery layer starts to move, and as it moves, it carries the ice with it. That's how a glacier is formed.
Scientists can drill and remove ice cores from the glaciers. The ice cores gives the scientists a year-by-year information about the past climates. The scientists especially analyze and trapped air bubbles because it reveals temperature variations, types of vegetations, and the amount of carbon dioxide from many years ago. Scientists traveled to Antarctica to drill 4 kilometers deep into the glaciers so they can measure the year, temperature, and the amount of carbon dioxide that was present in that year. This tells the scientists that as carbon dioxide increases, so does the temperature. It's been proven that we have more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere now than in the last 400,000 years. More carbon dioxide equals higher temperatures, and higher temperatures equals climate change. Climate change will have a significant effect on all life forms, including humans.
We're at the glacier, and here we have to measure the length, the width, and the deepness of the streams, including the area, and how many streams are going down. We've measured the width, which is 2 meters, and now I'm going to be measuring the depth.
How deep is it?
It's 30 centimeters deep. So now we're going to put a cork down at the 10 meters, and we're going to watch it float down the river and time it, so that way we get our speed, and then we can use our speed to measure the volume. After calculations, we have found the total volume of all the streams, and that's 1.6 meters cubed per second. I learned that a lot of water comes down at a time, and it doesn't really look like it. I think that the volume might decrease overnight because the temperature gets colder and the water might freeze. You might think it's important to measure this water because that way you could tell how warm it is looking at how much water volume there is. And I think that it might not be accurate because we didn't have all the time, and there's always different places, and all the calculations would take ages to find the right answer, but I think it's almost accurate.
Right now I'm standing on the terminal moraine, as you can see. A terminal moraine is piles of deposit and sediment, for example rocks and dirt, formed by moving glaciers, and they're usually at the bottom or the front of the glacier. And as you can see, the glacier is up there, so we're right down by the front. Right now we're standing in front of the lateral moraine, which is up there, as you can see. The lateral moraine is piles of deposit and sediment, like rocks and dirt again, formed by moving glaciers, except this time it's on the side of the glaciers, so it's around there. A glacial lake is caused when a glacier erodes a large space of land and then melts inside, forming a lake like this one. A glacial stream comes from glaciers and are small branches of water that lead to a main body, for example a lake. Sediment is settling matter that was moved by glaciers. Crevasses are a deep open crack on a glacier, and you can see some up here, and they're the blue horizontal lines on the ice. The snout is the bottom of the glacier. A glacial retreat is when a glacier melts and moves further back. Some consequences of glacial retreat are that when they move further back, they will leave large open spaces where they were. They also leave large amounts of sediment in their path, and finally, when they melt, it will cause water level stress. We're now walking from the terminal moraine up until the furthest point we can get to of the glacier. We're going to see how many paces it takes us to get there.
Okay, so we walked up to the top, as close to the glacier we can get, and that took us 760 paces.